Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's dive right into this. Right now, as you're sitting there watching this, you're literally surrounded by a massive, completely invisible network. It's quietly running in the background of your home, your workplace, and your city. It's collecting information, it's talking to other machines, and it's making thousands of decisions every single second without you ever even noticing. We're talking, of course, about the Internet of Things, or the IoT. And today, we're going to make that invisible network visible.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with a welcome to the IoT, then look at the tech behind the magic. After that, it's IoT in real life, the big business benefits, the risks of a connected world, and finally, the future of smart things.
Kicking things off with Section 1, Welcome to the IoT. What exactly is a smart object? Well, spoiler alert, you're probably already an active participant in this ecosystem, likely through the everyday devices sitting right there in your house, or maybe even strapped to your wrist. So to make sure we're all on the exact same page, the Internet of Things is basically a giant network of physical objects. These objects are embedded with sensors, software, and connectivity, which allows them to collect and share data completely autonomously. We usually just call them smart objects. This ranges from incredibly simple things you probably have at home, like a smart thermostat that automatically adjusts the AC based on when you're actually in the room, or a smart watch tracking your vitals, all the way up to incredibly complex industrial machinery. Because they have an internet connection, they form this vast, interconnected web of devices that exchange data and do tasks completely on their own.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core difference between how things used to be and where we are now. Imagine a traditional, quote-unquote, dumb factory machine. It just grinds away until, boom, a part snaps. It creates this massive blind spot. It fails unexpectedly, the whole production line stops, and a ton of money is lost. Now flip that and picture a smart machine. An IoT-connected machine is proactive. It actually senses its own internal temperature or weird vibrations, realizes a part is wearing down, and pings you an alert way before it actually fails. It's a fundamental shift, you know? We're moving from reacting to problems after they happen to proactively solving them before they even start.
Moving on to Section 2, the tech behind the magic. How does IoT actually work? Let's pull back the curtain and see how this invisible network functions out there in the physical world. Let's break down how this builds step by step. And honestly, the best way to picture it is like a human body. First up, we have sensors and actuators. Think of sensors as the eyes and ears of the system. They're out there detecting changes in temperature, motion, or pressure. Actuators are the hands. They actually cause physical changes like opening a water valve or moving a robotic arm in a factory. Second, we have connectivity. This is the nervous system. Using tech like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular, or even specialized low-power networks, all that sensor data is transmitted. Third is cloud computing. This is the brain, the central hub where all those vast amounts of data are securely stored and processed. And finally, big data analytics. This is the intelligence. This is where advanced algorithms sift through millions of raw data points to actually make sense of it all and spot hidden patterns. When all four of these layers work together perfectly, human intervention isn't even required anymore.
All right, Section 3. IoT in real life. Now that we know the anatomy of how it works, let's take a really quick, energetic global tour to see how this tech is actively deployed across different industries right this very second. This really paints a vivid picture of a deeply connected world. Picture a hospital, where remote monitors are tracking a patient's heart rate and oxygen levels in real time, catching health issues before they turn into full-blown emergencies. In manufacturing, we have the industrial IoT. We're talking hypersensitive sensors tracking the microscopic vibrations of production lines to guarantee perfect quality control. Walk into retail, and the actual layout of the store you're in might be optimized by hidden sensors silently tracking foot traffic. Over in agriculture, imagine a tiny, solar-powered smart sensor sitting deep in the dirt of a massive farm, measuring soil moisture so the farmer knows the exact perfect time to water the crops. And in transportation, connected cargo trucks are constantly talking to the cloud to optimize their fuel efficiency and track deliveries. So you see, these aren't just cool little gadgets. These devices are actively solving critical, real-world physical problems every single day. Which brings us to Section 4, the big business benefits. Why does IoT matter? Let's shift our focus to the economics for a second. Why are the world's biggest companies dropping billions of dollars to embed this tech into literally everything from cargo trucks to factory floors?
So the crucial point is that IoT isn't just flashy technology, it's a massive driver for a business's bottom line. First, you've got efficiency. By automating processes, businesses can resolve machine issues before downtime ever occurs, that predictive maintenance we talked about earlier. Next is data-driven decisions. Because these devices generate such vast mountains of data, companies aren't just guessing anymore. They have hard, actionable insights into exactly how customers behave and where market trends are heading. And finally, cost savings. By reducing repetitive manual tasks, businesses are saving massive amounts of capital. A perfectly relatable example is smart energy monitoring in those huge corporate office buildings. It doesn't just lower the monthly electricity bill, it drastically improves the company's overall sustainability.
Now, let's tap the brakes a bit for Section 5, Risks of a Connected World. To truly understand this explainer, we have to look objectively at the very real vulnerabilities of having a globally connected network. Because look, with all this incredible connectivity comes some pretty significant hurdles that have to be actively managed. First and foremost, security and privacy. Because everyday devices are now collecting your personal data, exposure is a huge risk. For example, a poorly secured smart thermostat could theoretically give a hacker a backdoor right into an entire corporate network. Yikes. Second is interoperability. A lot of times a device from manufacturer A literally cannot talk to a device from manufacturer B, which creates these frustrating data silos. Third is data overload. The sheer volume of information coming in can completely overwhelm a business if they don't have the right analytics tools ready to handle it. Fourth, cost and complexity. Rolling out an IoT system requires a steep upfront investment in hardware and demands highly specialized tech skills. And finally, regulatory challenges. Businesses are forced to navigate this incredibly complex web of varied data protection laws that constantly change depending on what country you're in.
But it's not all doom and gloom. Those risks can absolutely be overcome if businesses strictly follow a set of core best practices. 1. Plan a crystal-clear IoT strategy that actually aligns with business goals. 2. Choose devices that are designed from the ground up with strong encryption and strict access controls. 3. Constantly monitor, update, and maintain the health of those devices. 4. Have a robust strategy in place to effectively store and manage the absolute flood of data you're going to get. And 5. Build a cohesive ecosystem where your devices genuinely integrate and play nicely with one another. When businesses lock down these 5 steps, the network stays secure and reliable.
All right, let's bring the energy back up for Section 6, the future of smart things. What is next for IoT? Because the horizon of this technology is absolutely fascinating.
Tens of billions. I want you to just pause and think about the sheer massive scale of that number. Tens of billions. That is the projected number of IoT devices that will be in use globally over the next few years. As the cost of manufacturing these smart chips and sensors continues to plummet, adoption across literally every single industry is going to absolutely skyrocket.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing how IoT is currently merging with other heavy-hitting technologies to evolve. Take edge computing, for instance. Instead of sending data all the way to some distant cloud server, devices are going to process information right at the edge, meaning right where the data is collected for lightning-fast response times. Next is artificial intelligence. AI is stepping up to act as the new, ultra-smart brain of the network, capable of making incredibly complex, autonomous decisions on the fly. Then we have blockchain. This is going to act as the new shield, creating highly secure, decentralized networks that seriously minimize data vulnerabilities. And finally, sustainability. This massive global network will be leveraged to relentlessly optimize our energy usage and radically reduce global waste. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely massive question. As we build a world where tens of billions of machines can talk to each other, think for themselves using artificial intelligence, and securely take physical actions entirely on their own, what will they do next? It is a rapidly evolving, deeply interconnected future, and now you understand exactly how the invisible network powering it actually works. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I will see you next time.